We're excited to introduce you all to Man School. Man School is a little bit edgier. This is a show that we're not going to take any hold any punches. We're going to keep it clean, but at the same time, we're going to talk about issues that are current and pressing to us today in our world: business, social issues, just whatever comes to mind. In Man School, we've been working on it for 2 years, and we hope that's going to bring you a little bit of insight to what's going on inside of men's heads. So, looking forward to it, and this is just the beginning. We're going to be starting full episodes coming in 2025, but this is a
Everybody
snippet that
else
you can
around you
enjoy.
getting further
Talk to you
and
later.
further.
Enjoy.
They're getting smaller in the rear view.
Right. Yep.
They're getting smaller in the rear view. And what we have to remember is we have to remember how to get back home
Mm.
and visit, just like you have to do, every few days a month. Get back
Mm-hmm.
home and visit, but get back out here metaphorically. Now you got to definitely, you're doing it the hardest way, but you got to do it, you know, the actual pattern that you move in, maintain that energy,
Right.
but just set your feet because you got to get your feet planted. Because when your
Mm-hmm.
feet get planted, you know, you're still gonna have to have that same energy to grow and cultivate the thing. That's the thing. For you, you're in a very dynamic position. That's gonna from a business standpoint. I'm interested to see you know what's your comfort zone.
Hmm.
What's your comfort zone.
Right.
For because for you can't operate. You can't keep you know adding yourself to everybody else as if you're average and normal. That's where you're struggling at.
Say that one
Because
more
you're
time.
not. You can't keep adding yourself to the space of average and normal like other people because you're not average and
Right.
normal.
Right.
And that's where you're struggling at.
Fact.
That's where you're struggling at because well, there's never been nothing average and normal about you, but but when
Appreciate that.
definitely, and it's it's imperative for us to once we actually grab a hold of that and embrace it, because that's when we start moving and actually
Mm-hmm.
see things moving. I mean, the reality of it is though, once you get, when you're at home base, 7 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
you're still not going to be able to, nor should you still interact with anybody at home any different than you're doing right now.
Right.
Sadly, now even though most people, God bless them, and they're gonna go through some adjustment because average people presume proximity with identity, meaning what they see you do is what they figure you do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What they see you do. I was one time I asked my grandson, time was flying, probably a couple of years ago, I don't know, and I asked him, I said, "What do you think Papa does?"
Oh.
He said, "Well, you take pictures, so you take pictures." No, no, but that's what he's used to seeing me doing,
Right.
taking pictures all the time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I look, if the young ones, if most of the young ones in my family over on this side, if you ask them, they'd be like, "Well, he takes pictures all the time. He does a lot of videos, so that's what he does, right?" No,
Mm-hmm.
not at all, not at all, not at all.
Videographer.
That's just what you associate him with. That's what you see him do. One of
Mm-hmm.
our great nieces a few years ago, she asked me if I was a rapper. Well,
Oh wow. Okay.
because you see my videos on YouTube with
Mm-hmm.
with my music for Food by the Word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she thought I was a rapper. I was like,
Mm.
these folks really do not talk to their kids at all. They really
Mm-hmm.
don't. They really don't. For the kids, because the kids they tell you what they really think of you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, boy, these parents really do not talk to their kids at all about people, about all. Which that's interesting to me because most of what we knew about adults, you know, at least I mean, you know, you know, don't talk about what goes on in this house, and If they see somebody, if they see an adult, stay away from that one. That one's, no, they got a loose, screws loose or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They tell you something about, you know, if we want to know something, but that's the thing though too. We, we looked at, we looked at adults different. We didn't, you know, our parents was adults. I mean, our parents wasn't kids.
Yeah, exactly.
When they had, I mean, these kids is growing up with kids. I'm just gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
They growing up with their sisters and brothers like, with their parents like their sisters and brothers.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, so I mean, I don't expect them to know their parents should know any more than they know, and then they proving it every day. But
Every day, bro.
but that's the environment though. So with that being said, we can't expect for them to, you know, we got to tell them deliberately. After, like I said, after I asked my grandson that, that's why, I made it a point to tell my oldest grandchildren, I talk to them straight up. This is what Papa does, and I show them. This is what Papa does. This is food by the word. This is Montgomery 2320. I tell them, specifically, so that way
Mm-hmm.
that they know, and so now they know more than others do about what
Right.
Papa does. Because if I didn't tell them, they wouldn't know.
They
Well,
wouldn't know.
circle that around, to everybody else. Well, the reality of it is those older ones that act like they don't know is because they don't want to know. I'm talking about older people,
Yes.
that are not children. They don't want to know. They know what you doing. They know, okay, he got something going on, but they don't want to talk. If you're not talking to me about my business, this is one thing that I've had to come to realize, because any adult that I come in contact with, that's why I was glad to hear, an adult ask me for the first time in a while. I hadn't seen him in a while, so what you doing? So, well, great. This is what I'm doing. I haven't heard that in a while. Good. Thanks for asking, bruh. This is what
Right.
I'm. It reminded me, like, well, I remember we used to do this back in the days when we used to talk. But you know, the fact of the matter is, once again, the past 8 years has totally broken that. It's
Mm-hmm.
totally broken that. You know what I'm saying? Which, it's cost me very economic, distress. Very, 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 very much. But praise be to God, though.
Right.
That you know something so dynamic's been able to get built. But even in saying all this, it concerns me about folks, because you tell me, you tell me, when are those who say that they seriously want to own their own businesses and own their own economic freedom, when are they going to do
Oh, wow. Yeah. That yeah. That is,
it?
can't speak for everybody, but for myself.